Welcome to the Mark Attwood Show, Adventures in a Cosmic Suit. Before I start today, please remember links in the video description below and make sure you sign up to my email list. That's very, very important. But what I got in the post today, Our Cosmic Origin by Ishmael Perez. So I'm sure you've seen on Tom Numbers, Tarot by Janine, Nicholas Veniamin. He's coming out with some amazing information. This just arrived today. Go and get it. I can't wait to read this. We're going to continue on the theme of our cosmic origins because I'm going to introduce to you today a couple of amazing women in Australia with the Venus twins. How's it going, girls?
Fantastic.
Morning, Mark. Hi.
Well, on the right, I think is Claire Woodley, and on the left is Georgie Beaumont. And you two are doing some really amazing things down there in Melbourne, connecting with spaceships, channeling God, giving information out, healing people. Doing some good work. How did that come about? Because Australian viewers will know Claire because Claire is the daughter of Bruce Woodley from the original Seekers and has been singing "I Am Australian" around the country for years now. And now you're doing this. How did you two come together? What's going on?
Wow, what a good question that is.
Where do we start? First, we want to start, Mark, by saying thank you so much for having us on your show. We really appreciate it. And we just want everyone to know that this journey that we're on is not about being YouTube celebrities in any way. It's was never on the cards for us or what we wanted to do, but we are here to help humanity. And that's what we really want to get across to people today.
Yeah, we've been chosen and this has been brought to our attention together at relatively the same time a year ago, that we've been chosen by God to help heal humanity and help remove the harmful components of the jab from people. And
we need code. You know the old.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we have to be really careful with that one. We're not used to this, and we've said the V word a few times when we shouldn't have. And
was the word I just used okay?
It's fine.
All right. Okay. All right, then.
Yeah. So we met very randomly. Well, nothing's a coincidence, but we both happened to be on JCK's Facebook page when she originally brought that out. We were following that, and Claire put a comment below something. And I was reading Dolores Cannon. We'd both woken up at about the same time, pretty early on in this whole Great Awakening
same month,
in 2020. We'd gone down the rabbit hole. We were in the process of all that during terrible Melbourne lockdowns that went on forever. So we had a lot of opportunity to just sit and listen to videos, your videos, and learn a heap. Went down the rabbit hole. As part of my journey, I got into Dolores Cannon's work. I started reading her books. I thought she was amazing. It really resonated. And then I thought, I want to have one of these QHHT sessions. I've never done that. So I was trying to find people to do it with and couldn't find anyone local. And then this comment popped up right in front of my face.
Yeah. So it was me.
This is no coincidence. It was Claire saying, I'm doing the training. I'm in my second year. I need to do some free sessions. Anybody who wants one in the Melbourne area, send me an email. I was like, okay. So that sent her a message. She said, yep, sure, book you in. And I'll, get in touch with you soon. So she got in touch with me to tell me where to go. She lived a street away from me.
Yeah, which was bizarre. Yeah, so we became pretty good mates.
The moment I met her, I felt like I knew her. I really did. And then, we've found out since that there's an incredible connection between us and this huge journey that we've since been on has gone for just over a year now.
Just 1 year, but we've got a lot to tell you, and we've got a lot of messages that we're both able to channel telepathically. We have the same guides, which is very interesting in itself, that we found out the information about having the same guides independently. So we were coming to and from each other on the phone or in face-to-face and saying, did you find out last night about? Yes,
we met up for walks a lot.
It was just the most extraordinary, and it still is. To every single day we get new pieces of information, and we cross-check it with each other, which is the beauty, I guess, about having the two of us. We can really support each other through this process as well, because we're learning as we go, and supporting each other, because we've been through a lot of tests as well. They're not handing it over, you know, we have to learn our lessons with it as well. We're perfectly human as anyone else, but we've been told we are identical twins from Venus.
Yeah, with the same guides who are called the 9. There are 9 of them. And we are a part of that group of 9. So the 2 of us are a part of our own group of guides up there, or from Venus. We've worked with them through every single lifetime we've had. We've done the same thing through every single lifetime we've had, which is we have been healers working with God. And our main role that we play is that we help save planets from destruction, from evil.
Is that all?
That's it.
Is that it?
There's more to it. So we're not only healers.
What are you doing today? I'm just going to save a planet from destruction. I'll be back.
We don't do it alone.
Just putting on my armor of God, and I'm off to work, love.
Yeah. See you later.
So at night, we're warriors who fight in the dumbs, saving children. Yeah.
Well, we must have met there then.
Yes, we've got a bit to tell you about that.
Really?
I don't remember anything about being in the dumbs, but they tell us that that's for our own mental health.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look, if we're aware of living in that particular, I don't know how to put it, realm, I guess, that's when we do remember. So there are lives where we do remember doing it, and then there are lives where we don't remember that we're doing it, and this is one of those lives. So we feel exhausted. We actually literally have injuries sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, Mark. Yeah.
And we get it.
I woke up this morning. I was like, what the?
Sore shoulder or something.
Everything. Legs, all sorts of stuff.
I see things at night, see beings coming for me. I see reptilians. I get attacked a lot, and I have to fight them off and know what to do now. But that was all part of the learning too. Massive learning process. We've been through so much, haven't we? A big roller coaster ride. And thank goodness we've had each other. It's been great to have each other to be like, oh my God. Like sometimes one of us will pick up something we feel is not quite right. Like we recently realised that we both had a very bad negative entity attached to us.
Yeah, big one.
You move the microphone a little bit closer to you.
Yeah. And Claire was the one who picked it up about me. And we had to ask the question because of our free will, our guides can't tell us sometimes when we have a negative entity or something like that. Unless we say, do I have a negative entity attached to me? They're not going to tell us. They'll do everything they can to try and hint or help us, but I wasn't getting the message. I didn't have any idea. Now I know exactly what it's like and what to do, and we know how to remove them from each other and from other people, and it's all just part of the learning journey that we've been on. So that's another thing that we do for people now, and clear them from homes too, including our own home regularly.
Yeah, we've got some lovely a section on our website called Under Offerings, where we've got some beautiful channeled prayers that are obviously free for people to use in different situations.
For clearing attachments, for clearing their home.
And for helping people, and one of the first ones to help people passing over. These have been channeled directly from the Creator, Source, God, whatever you prefer to call him.
And that's been another part of our journey too. Like before, when we said, "Oh, we work with God," and you're like, "Oh, yeah, sure." We were like that too. When they said our ship was named the Enterprise, we were like
get out of town.
Are you kidding? And then,
it's funny. I was watching. I don't watch TV, but I got a message from a friend saying you need to go and watch Star Trek: Strange New Worlds, and I watched the first episode of it last night. I was like, yeah, this is totally white hat stuff. And and Gene Roddenberry got all the information from channeling and from living in Ireland, actually, over the Wexford Mountains when he was here in the 60s. There was a lot of UFO encounters there that him and a group of people had, and then they got the same information. They must have got the same information from the same ship.
Very much, could very well be. So wonderful. It's just so exciting. We're just like jaw gaping most of the time.
Really. One of the things that cracked me up is that you, in one of your videos on your YouTube channel, you talked about the fact that they watch the football.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're watching it right now, actually, because Melbourne are playing right now.
Yeah.
I don't, so why are they watching? Why are they watching Melbourne? Why are they not watching Man United? That's what I want to know.
Maybe because they're in Melbourne's atmosphere.
Yeah, they're above
atmosphere.
us.
Yeah.
This is your. So this is the Australian Guardians, basically. And you said there's about 20 of these ships in the sky. Are they dotted around the world with above specific towns, or
we haven't asked that question,
but we can.
But I think they're all over the place. I don't think they're all here. But our ship, we know, is here, and we see it all the time, and we feel it, and we're very connected because our souls are on board in pods. And it's our family. It's our family, that ship.
So they've told us that we are avatars here on Earth, and that our pods, as Georgie just said, are on the ship. And we on the ship as well when we go fighting in the tunnels and on other missions. We are in avatars once again.
Warrior avatars.
Yes, and we both had that information come to us separately, and we came together and said, "Do you know anything about our souls being aboard a ship?" And I'm like, "Yep, got that one this morning." I mean, it really. But we've got a whole heap of other stuff to tell you that we've.
Well, that avatar, JC said this about a year and a half ago about waking up on the ship and saying, "Where am I?" And then the guy says, "Yeah, you always say that." So yeah, that ties.
Yeah, and not wanting to leave.
Well, we regularly get taken up there for healing, and in like this body, I guess, like they take this body and heal it. The way we are now.
And Gene Decode, we did a live. I was on a live with him because we both followed him from the beginning, and I did ask him about. I said, "Gene, I've been told I go up onto a ship every night for healing," and he said, "That's correct." And that was the end of that question. I went, "Oh, okay, terrific, thanks for that, Gene."
But we know more about it now, and we do know that they wipe our memory each time and send us back because we cry. We don't want to go. We want to stay on the ship.
It's brilliant stuff, but I'm going to have to. Can you get louder, because I know people are going to complain they can't hear you.
Sorry, we'll speak up more.
Or get closer to it, or anything you can do.
Okay. How's that?
Yeah, that's cool.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. Claire's got a good loud voice, so I've got to speak up.
Oh yeah, Claire's got a voice like an old fishwife, according to Claire.
The singer's voice.
The singer's voice.
To say to me.
Resonant frequency. So what kind of stuff do you want to share with the viewers today?
Well, we've got a lot of stuff to talk about. We'd want to tell them about the spaceship that we're in touch with, called the Enterprise, that's in the skies at the moment, above the skies of Melbourne, and it's a diamond-shaped ship that is very technologically advanced, as all spaceships are, and it can travel interdimensionally and into density. I don't quite know the plural of that one, faster than the speed of light, and it is a sentient female being that communicates directly with the pilots and the commanders on board. And it has thrusters underneath that you can see. There's a photo.
They use those to stay in position too when they're in the sky, because
you've got some pictures on your phones. Do you want to share those?
Yeah, we'd love to. So this one.
Turn it sideways, maybe. No, that was better.
This one is a photo that I took of the beach actually one day, and was just taking a photo of the waves, which were non-existent, down at the surf coast down in Lorne in Victoria, Australia, and there it is. And I just happened to notice that was there later that day, did a channeling, and they said, yes, that is the Venusian spaceship, letting me know that day that they were healing rescuing children from the dumps in Victoria.
Did they explain to you how they cloak behind the clouds? Because I've got lots of pictures of UFOs behind clouds. My friends, if anybody watching this channel can go and watch me.
I asked the question.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Sorry.
I asked the question and they said, we can't tell you that. And I had a few guesses and they said, oh, you're pretty close. So they can't.
I imagine it's quite easy, actually. You just create an electromagnetic field around the ship that would create water condensation to form, and then you've got a cloud around you. I mean, it's not got it.
They did tell me they can't see below them when they're cloaked.
Really?
Yeah. Because I said, can you see the other ships up there and do they look like ships? Because, gee, I'd love to see the ship as a ship one day. And they said, yes, we heard you thinking that. And they said, yes, we can see all the other ships. And most of the time they're not cloaked. I said, oh, okay. When do you need to cloak? They said, only when it's really clear conditions, clear skies, they have to cloak.
Well, it's been very cloudy here for about a week. And then suddenly it cleared last night as I had a late night trip to pick up my daughter and her friends from a disco. And it was cloudy. And then as I arrived towards town, it was all clear. And then suddenly all these lights popped up in the sky. And then I got the tingle. And then I told you before, I went outside in the garden, had a chat with one of them. And then there was a flash and a ship went by. And it's all just like, I think they do that for me just to keep me cool, you know, because it's like a little wave. Everything's good. Don't worry, relax. And then, 10 hours sleep after that. And then woke up with bruises on me.
Wonder what you were doing in the middle of the night. Maybe you were underground with us.
Well, it's
pretty sure you were.
Well, there's one other thing we wanted to tell you, which is we don't just have these guides called the Nine, but we also found out that we are founding members of a council, a special council called the Andromedan Council of Nine. And this council is extremely important in what's going on planet Earth right now, the Great Awakening, because we'll tell you a little bit about the council itself. It started off as 9, and we were founding members that started off. God created this council, and the purpose of the council is to save planets from destruction, from evil takeovers. So that is why we've always done this work in every lifetime too. So it started as 9 members of the council, which was basically our guides, the 9. Then we realised, once we started doing this work, that we needed help. We couldn't just have the 9 of us. We needed skills, talents, different things to help save these planets. So then God appointed 8 other races of benevolent beings. They're all very ancient beings, all benevolent, and they all have different gifts, powers, skills that God has given them to help in this fight against evil. And the 9 original members only appointed their leader as the person on the council, and the other 8 on the council were the leaders of the other races that God appointed to be on the council. So the leaders are on the council, 9 of them, and all of the races of these beings are a part of the council. They do the work, but they're not sitting on the council. It's just the leaders sitting on the council. And then the council went down to 5 at one point. And I said, well, why do they drop the numbers and, what happens? They said, well, a lot of the work that's being done is very dangerous and they do lose lives. And sometimes these races just can't continue on with the loss of life and they pull out and stop doing it. But it is a great honour to be on this council. And so then it's dropped to 5. Then it went back up to 7 at the beginning of the Great Awakening on planet Earth. And it's
we're not exactly sure the date, but we're thinking around 2020.
And then it went back up to 9 about a month ago, very recently.
I've got a few questions. Can I ask a few questions? So what you're saying brings up a few interesting things. Firstly, this is the Andromedan Council of 9.
Correct.
How does that relate to Venus?
Because they're from the Andromedan galaxy, which is part of the Pleiades star system. And Venus is a planet of that star system. Yeah.
It's not a planet of our star system.
Well, it is actually. It is too. Yeah.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
It's interesting as well with the 9 and the 7, because there's a character in Star Trek Next Generation, I think it was, or maybe, no, it wasn't that one. It was one of the later ones called 7 of 9. Do you remember that character?
No, but we'll have to have a look at that one too.
Yeah. The word council is also interesting to me because that's popped up in a few of my poems accidentally, which is weird.
Oh.
Which is different because I grew up in a council house, which is not the same thing, obviously.
Well, this council are really important because they're
Really
responsible for the Great Awakening on planet Earth because they have special powers, and what these powers are time travel. They go back in time. The leaders of the council, they go back in time. They assess. Sorry, they go forward in time. They go forward
in time,
and they assess what's happening with planets and their trajectory and how they're ending up. And they did this for planet Earth, and they saw that Earth was destroyed, that it was all over. And so they go back again, and then they approach the Federation of Worlds
of light
beings.
Federation of Worlds of Light Beings,
which is the military faction in space. That is working with the Earth Alliance now. So they approached the Federation of Worlds and told them what was going to happen to Earth and that we needed to intervene.
And so what was it?
They're kind of the scouts in that respect, and the Federation of Worlds are the warriors.
Yes,
correct.
The military. Yes, you're right.
And then the Federation of Worlds is working with the white hats on Earth to form the Alliance, which is doing all this work. And somehow lots of us here are connected to all of this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, very much so.
Every single one of the people that we're seeing in our healing
nearly
business,
everyone.
nearly everyone is a Venusian.
I also think it's interesting as well that you said it went down to 5 and then up to 7, because if you watch Mike Myers' recent series about a benevolent secret society called the Pentaverates, there were five of these guys, and then they went up to 7 to form this Septaveret at the end of the series. So this is all connected with what's going on as well, I think.
I love how you're saying the synchronicities there.
So then once they establish that a planet needs help, which they did with Earth, they then travel back in time and change important things about the history, particularly to do with leaders.
They had to do it because they saw that Earth was able to space travel.
Yeah.
And that was of great risk with the malevolent beings on Earth. So that's where they were allowed to intervene because of the laws of the universe. Intervention, yeah.
Which, of course, is a big part of Star Trek as well.
And it's the law of the universe. You're not allowed to intervene with a race of, people on a planet unless there's certain, reasons that you can, certain parameters in place. And that is they have the ability to space travel. So then they become a threat to others in the universe and the galaxies, and they are ruled by malevolent beings, and being deceived, basically, which is the case on Earth. So they could intervene, and so they did, and they've gone back in time, these Andromedan Council members, and changed the trajectory of planet Earth, changed the history, basically.
Yeah, which is where the Mandela effect has come from in the last few years, right?
Yeah, to create a new outcome, new timelines, and a beautiful ending to all this.
And the council as well then, with our, daily communications with them, urged us to set up a website and start a business to start healing people. And they even gave us the name of our business, Wisdom Woven in Time Healing, which they said was fitting because we've worked together healing people in every lifetime that we've ever had. So
the council's job with us is not only to have all these different races of benevolent ancient beings doing different tasks to help this fight against evil on planet Earth, and we've got a list of some of the different tasks they do, which are really interesting too, but they also work with us healing people. They're healers too.
Can we tell the message from Mark?
They have a message for you, Mark.
For me?
Yes, this is from...
As long as they're not telling me to stop smoking, I'll listen.
No, they're not.
All in good time, There's no rush. You do that when you're ready.
I don't like being nagged by anybody. Go on.
No. So this is a message for you, lovely Mark, from the council. Tell Mark was channeled, obviously, for you. Tell Mark he is a Venusian of great importance in the Great Awakening. He was appointed by the Council of Andromeda to be the voice of the awakened, the mouthpiece, so to speak, because he is such a gifted speaker, writer, and poet. A beautiful poet he is. Just listen to his poetry and you will see what we are talking about. Tell Mark that the Andromedan Council of 9 are extremely proud of his efforts, and this has not gone unnoticed. The council will reward him in this lifetime with a ride in a spaceship. So tell Mark that his wish will be made into a reality where he is taken on the ride of his life and he gets to keep all his memories of it, all. And the pilot will be Isroft, who is Georgie's protector and the commander, high commander and boss of the entire enterprise. Georgie's protector, yes. And also tell Mark that we, meaning the Andromedan Council, are happy to communicate with him through Georgie or myself anytime, and this will always be free of charge for Mark's generosity of spirit in helping with the Great Awakening. And here's the other bit. This is the cool bit. This is cool.
Well, you know, that wasn't cool enough.
There's more, and there's even more after this too. Oh gosh, okay. We also
hit him, Georgie. Hit him.
We also happen to find out that you are a pilot, so you're from Venus. And I said, well, Mark, you know, is a pilot here. So I'm kind of getting the feeling that he must be a pilot up there too, flying spaceships and stuff. Yes, you are. You're a very good pilot.
Yeah, I knew it.
So is Isrof, so don't worry. You're in good hands. He's one of the best. And your father from Venus is a pilot, and he happens to be a pilot on our ship, the Enterprise. His name, you ready? Hold on to your chair. Are you ready? Your father from Venus, his name is Val Thor. Valiant Thor. Valiant Thor, the famous...
Yeah, I know who he is.
Venusian who came to Earth to speak to Eisenhower.
Yeah.
In 1950 something, was it? Who came to tell...
Val Thor's my old man.
He is your father.
Not the one, your earthly
not your
father.
Earth father. He's your father from Venus.
Yes.
What? Oh.
It's different.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
So like I believe like our relatives are on the ship, but they're like sister will be brother or aunt, or it'll change. Or
our parents here on Earth are different to our parents from Venus.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
can you tell him I'm sorry I missed Father's Day? I didn't know.
Well, he's on Earth right now.
Yeah.
You know how he came to Earth in the 50s and spoke to Eisenhower. He's actually back now with Trump.
Yeah, he's the he's the really tall guy that follows Trump around, isn't he?
Yes, and he's here specifically to advise Trump about the effort for defense of planet Earth at the moment that's going on Mars. So at the moment, they're training super soldiers on Mars. They're also using all the technology to build ships and all the things that we need to defend Earth from this happening again in the future. And all other planets like Venus and all the others, they're already set up like this, but Earth is not. So Earth's getting the full package. This is called the Great Awakening because it is a big one. It really is a big one on all levels.
It's the biggest that's ever been.
The healing that needs to take place is massive, which is our role. The awakening that needs to take place is massive, and that's your role. That's what you do.
Well, we're all parts. We're part of teams, aren't we?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people doing amazing awakening work and healing work, and you know.
I think we're all healers at the end of the day, in our own ways.
Yeah, I never expected to be a healer, but that's what I've been doing a lot of that recently.
Yeah,
actually, you know, doing videos is actually a form of healing.
Oh, which, absolutely, yeah.
There's another part too. They also said, tell Mark that he is very well known on Venus for his writing and poetry. He's a very well-known poet, and he mainly writes about the war efforts, like what we do, fighting, saving planets. You mainly write about that topic because you're very passionate about it, and you're very well known for that.
Look at his
because he is a warrior like we are, they said.
You know what's really weird about that is that I was first published in a book about 32 years ago as a poet, and the poems were about war.
Oh, you're kidding me.
And you
Oh,
know
my
that
goodness.
Val Thor has written a few books too. There's a
Okay.
few published here on Earth, yeah.
Okay.
From when he came here in the 50s.
I'm getting the goosebumps
3
now.
books with a co-author, I think, someone who helped him write them. But yeah, he wrote them about ancient aliens, about Vril, and another
Well,
one.
I'm obsessed with the Vril. I have a Vril conversation every day.
What do you mean you're obsessed with the Vril? I love this.
Well, because there's a Vril base not far from me, and it's where they take people to get their consciousness taken over. It's also a cloning center, and it's like, you know, and I have to explain it to people because they look at me like I'm completely nuts. So
You're not.
And then finding photos of Vril has become really hard. You used to be able to find loads of them, and now it's really difficult.
Yeah, we've told a few people that we've read for or come and had encounters with have been Vrilled.
Yeah,
you can sometimes see it in their scars around the eye.
Yeah,
noticed. We've got an interesting. I thought coming from that bit about you being a poet, might be interesting to let you know that not only can we speak directly to God, we then, when we were talking with him, because it's very much a like a father-child relationship. It's very, very gentle, very loving, and very like just a normal conversation, although a lot slower, I guess, because we're channeling it. But one day we asked, could we speak to Jesus? And he said yes. And we thought we might read a lovely channeling that we got to you. And this was actually some information that we were reading and not quite being able to decode, so to speak. So I went to a good mate of mine and a very important researcher, and he's got a lot of followers here in Australia, a guy called Dale Holmes, Dale H on Instagram. He's
I've seen some of his stuff. He's amazing.
He's quite an incredible researcher, and just able to join the dots like no other really that I've ever come across in the truth movement.
He gives us some amazing questions to ask.
Yeah, we often say, what do we ask the council? He'll ask us. And when he asked us, I actually asked him this question. He goes, who is Jesus? And this is what he said. Where's that one, love? Oh, sorry. So this took a while for this information, this channeling, because I was doing it and I was feeling quite overwhelmed with emotion. So it took a bit of time, but this is what it said, and this was he said, and this was on the 22nd of April.
This was the first time Claire ever connected with Jesus.
And this is what he said. I am the mind of the universe. I am the physical godlike figure of the universe. I am the love in your heart. I am the blood in your veins. I am the tip of the iceberg. I am the top of the mountain. I am the start of the river. I am the start of the waterfall. I am the end of the lake. I am the beginning of the lake. I see you in the lake, talking to me in the tall trees. You are the trees. You are me. I am you. I am the Son of God. And this was, every time I say it, I get a very, very beautiful feeling. And I really wasn't able to make so much sense of it, but I was talking to Dale about it. He's saying, can't you see the water references? Age of Aquarius, watch the water. That letter in the alphabet we're not allowed to say always tells us this is what we're coming into. And, so that I just thought we'd share that one with you.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I'm glad you liked it because it's pretty lovely, isn't it? Yeah.
We can also tell you some of the things that the members of the council are doing as part of this effort on planet Earth. So the different races of beings,
Oh, yes.
what they're doing.
They're very, very cool.
There are two groups, which are the newest ones that have just recently started, and people are going to be so happy to hear this, and they may have noticed it already. They're working in the atmosphere of Earth now, clearing up the skies for humanity to stop the chemtrails from poisoning the humans, to help raise the vibration of the planet and the people, and also wake people up. So I've noticed it. I've really noticed it, because Melbourne, the moment winter started, literally the first day, it was freezing and the skies have just been clouded over, miserable, no sunshine, rain, horrible, depressing. And then all of a sudden it started clearing during the day. And I saw all these angelic sort of, you know how you see sometimes angelic stuff in the sky? You just know it is.
Seraphins.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what they are?
Yeah, the cloud. Yeah, the clouds that look like angels. They are real beings. Yeah,
and you just know it's angelic energy. It's not the bad stuff. You can see the chemtrail stuff. You can tell what that's like, and they're clearing it up, and they're doing an amazing job. We're getting sun nearly every day now, and they're cleaning it up. So that's really good to know. There are also some that are underground doing great work for humanity by cleaning up the soil. The crystal grids under the earth are being restored to their original status, as they were tampered with by the cabal.
Yeah.
This is related to our free energy. For it to work, you need the crystal grid to be operating the way it was designed to operate. Another one was, the other part of that free energy is the ether in the atmosphere, and some of the beings of the council are working on clearing the skies of poisons that the cabal have sprayed over so many years, and they're restoring the ether to its natural state so it can provide power for the planet in the future. Other members of the council are helping in space to train humans to fight evil.
Is that on Mars?
They're also helping them to build spaceships on Mars and create a defence for Earth in the future against all evil that may try to invade the planet again. And that's where Val Thor has come down to help Trump with that effort as well.
Mr. T. Love him. Happy birthday for the other day, by the way, Mr. T.
They're also training super soldiers to be our defence against the enemy in future. Venus has this set up already, and most other planets do too. So Earth needs to be set up this way also, because it needs to defend itself against all evil in future, so this never happens again. And the council wanted us to give a message to humanity too. So
Did you want to hear about some of the other races that are up there on the council?
Yeah, huh? We want to hear it all.
All right.
Give us what you got.
Come on, Georgie, we're going to read it out together. There's
oh no, you don't.
These are the 7. Now, this is actually, this information has been confirmed, but it's this is Gene Decode's work. Okay, we're not taking credit for this, but this has got to do with us, so we're going to talk about it. So the first race is called the Tengri. They're from the planet Tengri, Galactic Sector 56, Star System F-1342. And they're the new additions, at the beginning of the Great Awakening. And they live underground and have a population of around 10 million. They're an absolutely spiritual race that has always been in service to the Creator, which they follow in service to what they say manifested the physical universe, the Holy Spirit, which they call She. Do you want to do the next one?
No. You do them all. That's okay.
The next lot are called the Ramai or the Ramay. They Ramay come from Capella in the constellation Auriga, and they are a race that created the Mayan civilization by moving groups from different places on Earth into South America. And they are a race of scientists and taught the Mayans astronomy and about time.
And they also created the Mayan calendar.
Yep. And they're like a gold colour, like this really elongated head.
A bit Egyptian looking.
Okay. Like a cone head. Like really look like cone. And they're gold, very gold copper colour. The next race are called the Egaro, a very peaceful but mysterious race. They have massive psionic abilities and a secret weapon unknown to others. There are 2 different groups of the Egaro, the Mesa Daran and the Al Nilam. So the Mesa Daran live on the planet Darius, in the star system Darhu, a very ancient race, and they look after the magnetic grid of the universe. And for this reason, they are in the Earth system to re-establish balance. And the Alnilam come from the Orion star system, and they're 2,000 light years away from Earth. The next member of the Andromedan Council of 9 is the Orella, another mysterious race. They originate in the Ophiu Ophiuchus constellation. Their planet is 19.6 light years away. They have 2 genders, mostly 5th density, and when they appear and visible, they appear as a green light body with a glowing red light from within. The next race is the Ginvo, often mistaken as Zeta Reticuli or a grey. Their entire culture is the complete opposite of these races, and they come from the planet Mauru of the Procyon star system, 11.4 light years from Earth. They breed naturally. They have 2 sexes, not through cloning, and are extremely technologically advanced. They live about 150 years. The next race are the Emertha, generally agreed the most important race on the Council of Andromeda, but amongst all, scrap that bit. They're related to the Calypsi ray, but much older and advanced. These are the ones who met with President Eisenhower on 3 different occasions. The Emertha are a peaceful race, intelligent, humorous, and generally very pleasant to be around, but they're also very prepared for defense. They are from the Tau Ceti, a binary star system, 11 light years from Earth, and they live on the planet Elgideron, the 5th planet in that system, and that planet has 5 moons, 2 of which they inhabit. And number 7, we're not allowed to know the last 2, the names of them, or we know them, but
they're
we're not allowed.
the newest, the 2 newest that are working in the atmosphere. We're not allowed to know their names yet.
And the 7th one,
Got 7.
That's because there's 2 types of the Egaro. There's the Egaro, but the Mesa Darren and the Alninam are both.
We've got the Tengri, the Ramay, the Egaru, the Alinalinam, the Orella, the Jinvo, and the Emertha. That's 7.
The Alnilam are there's 2 types of Egaro. There's the Mesa Darren Egaro and the Alnilam Egaro.
Oh, I see. Right.
Yeah. So they're one race.
They're one race. They just have different
gotcha.
Different types amongst
different
them.
types, I suppose. The last one, the number 7, that we're aware of the name, are called the Redan, and they're benevolent. Origins unknown, but somewhere in the Boots constellation. Very ancient species. They have interdimensional capable ships. So all that was condensed information from a video that Jean put out a year and a half or so ago, but we thought it was really relevant, so we thought we might tell you about that.
Where do the Venetians and the Andromedans and the Pleiadians come into this list?
Well, that's a good question.
The Venusians were the founding.
We were the founding members. Yeah, the original 9.
Okay.
Cool. And then we needed the call out for more help. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So the message from the council to humanity. Let's read this one out.
I feel like we need to put on our caps or something
Yeah.
when we do this. I'll put up a flag or something.
Tell humanity that we are winning this war against evil on planet Earth, and we are expanding our efforts to help humanity in other ways now. We have added 2 new representatives to our group from 2 other benevolent races that have been chosen by God to help in the ways that they are strong and capable of. They have been appointed to make sure the atmosphere of Earth is balanced and cleaned up soon. They are doing an amazing job of clearing the Earth's atmosphere of poisons and other harmful things that are keeping the humans asleep. So they are helping to wake humans up and also helping to clean the planet's atmosphere and lift the vibration of planet Earth. This helps the humans to lift their vibration and to be happier and more positive and more in tune with their natural abilities and psychic abilities too.
Hey, the fireworks are going off now.
Yeah.
Isn't it just unbelievable? Like, we're just...
Well, no, it resonates with me. I'm feeling...
do you know how much that means to us? Because we haven't really spoken to too many people about it, have we?
No.
So thanks, Mark. We have some stuff for you if you want a little bit about what the protectors up there.
Yeah, we've got some cool info about the ship and who's on the ship.
Okay.
Okay, Georgie, you're so good at all that.
Oh, well.
She's got an amazing memory.
Well, we've only recently found out their names.
Yes, that was interesting because we were calling them much more earthly type names. They gave
us a false name to begin with. A lot of stuff sort of happened like that. It's all been revealed to us in perfect timing, you know, very gradually, very gently, very beautifully done. So we've been talking to them for quite a while, but now we know their names. So
they started off with me calling themselves the love vibration.
So
I'm like, this is so, it was perfect for me. I'm like, oh, this is so groovy.
So they all have, you know, more spiritual names that actually have a meaning too. Like your father's name is Valiant Thor, but he's known as Val Thor. I'm not sure what the meaning of that is, but I can find out for you. But okay, my protector up there, his name is Isrovt, Isrovt. And where is it written down? The
information about Isrovt. Here we go.
There. Okay, so his name means soldier of protection in the light of God. Isn't that beautiful?
And he's my pilot.
Yes, he's the high commander of all operations on the ship, Mark.
We go tonight. Isrovt, can we go tonight?
Maybe. He's the boss of the entire ship.
You know the funny thing? I was asking this last night. Every night I talked to them, I was like, when can I remember going on a ship? And I want to take the controls.
Having had some flying in my lifetime too here, Mark, it's my wish too. And I've been told I'm going to get a go as well. So
we'll go together.
Yeah.
Let's just all go and have a big party up there.
So he's the high commander. He's the boss of the ship, of the whole lot. He's also an amazing pilot. He also works with the Federation of Worlds and Light Beings, fighting in the tunnels as a warrior for the light of God, for the light and God. He rescues the children from the evil ones who have infiltrated planet Earth. We are soulmates, he and I, and have been together in every single lifetime.
Yeah.
He said to me, you always keep finding me in every lifetime. And I said, I do. He said, yes. I said, oh, sorry about that. Okay, well, I'll give you a break next time then, will I? He said, no. Keep on finding me. So
keep on finding and fighting.
We're very, very connected, and he protects me at all times, amazingly. Like he's told me about things that he's saved my life, literally.
Yeah, same.
And I know some of those moments where I thought, oh my God, something could have just happened to me then when I was young. And he told me about those times and he saved me.
Yeah.
Amazing stuff.
Yeah, and somebody's been doing that for me as well, because I shouldn't be here.
And Claire's the same, so she'll tell you about hers.
Oh well, yeah. I've led a much more I don't know, so risky life, shall we say, than Georgie has. We were laughing about it before we came on tonight about how many times I should have died. Oh my God. Yeah. So I'm sorry, but thank you. I really do. Thank you. So my protector's name is Hergost, and who watches and protects over me as well in every lifetime. And his name means soldier of the light. And Hergost is a high commander of intelligence on the Enterprise and a military strategist. And he's also a spiritual rescuer of children suffering from the after effects of SRA, satanic ritual abuse. And this means, I asked what that actually means, and they said this means he helps in their spiritual rehabilitation. So we are encouraged by our protectors to speak with them every day. They really like that to happen, to keep us, believe it keeps the bond even stronger. Plus, they really
give us amazing advice too.
Yes.
And they just, they tell us when they're not happy about us doing something. It's not safe. We don't want you to go there or do that or be in that massive crowded place. That's not okay. Don't do it. Things like that.
Or if we're feeling unwell, they'll help us to get to the bottom of things. And also, like, I get, if I need my supplements, I just speak to Hergost and he'll tell me how many vitamin Ds I need, or whether I don't need them anymore. Or, I said, do I ever need to go to the doctor again? He goes, no, you have us. But that hasn't actually been the case, because I do need to go to the GP today, but that's a life lesson I'm going through.
But we heal each other too, so we can remove entities from each other, heal each other to keep each other in the best possible health and condition that we can be, so that we can help as many people as we can.
You like two chimpanzees picking the lice off each other's backs.
Yes.
I know. Why do they do that, those things?
Why do they clean each other's backs?
Yeah.
Because they're looking after each other.
Yeah, but like, don't. Oh.
It's affectionate, even though
it's
they're working as a team,
Oh, sorry, I'm just having some weird thoughts. I get it. Have we missed out on anything there?
Well, we haven't said much about what we do in our business, really, have we?
No.
Well, before you go there, I've got a question, if you don't mind.
Of course, we've been chewing your ear off.
No, it's good. It's great. I mean, this is a very emotional episode for me.
Oh, bless.
Good.
Thank you.
Okay, so, there's been a lot of earthquakes and things going on, which I think is clearly to do with the tunnels being cleared around the world, and that's been going on a very long time. And I know other people have asked this question and answers have come out, and I'm interested. If these guys are rescuing children, and it from the tunnels, the news that I've seen over time is that a lot of them didn't make it when they came out, because they've been bred under there and never seen daylight and deformed and everything else.
Yeah.
And some people have said in the past that the children, where are the children? Where are these millions of children that have been underground? And I'm guessing they're on the ships. So do you know where they are? Being spiritually rehabilitated is one thing, but I think people watching this will want to know, are we ever going to be able to, see them?
Don't know. Those that are being saved, a lot of them go on our ship that our team rescue in particular, and Hergost, Claire's protector, his role is taking them on a tour of the ship. He relates to them really beautifully, helps in their rehabilitation, but they are rehabilitated. Some of them go straight into healing pods on the ship. They have female crew members up there that work with the children, rehabilitating them and helping them to heal. And then they are also flown to other planets, other places where they are rehomed, where they will fit in, where they're okay. So I know that happens. I don't know how many will, be here or that we'll be able to see. I'm not sure.
We could ask that.
Yeah, we can ask more about that topic. But I know that there's some really horrific stuff, and that our protectors have had to go into healing pods themselves for several weeks at a time to come to terms with what they see and what they deal with. So there is,
and we haven't been able to actually speak to them. We've had no we've been told they'll have to put in a replacement because because they were going through stages of grief.
Yeah,
and healing.
The other question is how are they managing to do all this work without any 3D humans seeing them do it?
Well, it's at night.
or hearing, apart from the earthquakes and stuff. And that's just one of my questions, because I feel I know all this is true. It's just that people watching this will be like,
I believe that
demand evidence, you know.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
they talk a lot about it being on the astral too.
A lot of it's on the
that's
astral.
Something to do with it, that it is on the astral, that they're doing a lot of this fighting.
No, but remember as well, they've when there was Dale Holmes again was looking at the Premier of Victoria, Daniel Andrews. He got a real close look at him one day, and
in Bendigo,
in Bendigo,
in the
Victoria.
Was it in the court?
He was at some public thing, and Dale got up quite close and just looked into his eyes and said, "That's not a human."
Yeah.
And got really close. It's like he said that he was saying on his video, like, how could I have got that close to the Premier? And he said then someone came up to him and put his hand, like one of the security put their hand on him and said, "It's okay, Dale. It's okay." And he's thinking, how do you know my name?
Mm-hmm.
So we did a reading on that, and that man was Venusian. So I'm thinking, yes, they can come into a human form.
Yeah, well, that episode of Star Trek I just watched is full of all of this. Exactly as you just said.
Right.
Yeah, it's incredible.
We've got to watch Star Trek, Georgie.
What's it called, Mark, that one?
It's called Star Trek Brave New Worlds or Strange New Worlds. It's only recently come out, and you can I watch it on a streaming site. It's I haven't really got time to watch TV, but this is of interest, and it connects. I think it's connected. Therefore, is of interest. So
exactly.
Because I think they're telling us everything they're telling us everything through the media now. Well, the bad guys have used it to manipulate us, and the good guys are using it to wake us up. It's all part of that kind of process, I think.
Yeah, it's full disclosures, well and truly happening. It's wonderful. The transgender thing's just being completely blown apart, which is fabulous.
Yeah.
Went down that rabbit hole in a big way.
It's so tiresome.
Oh, it was. But I was so, back when, before I was awoken to all of this, I was so interested in models and fashion and movie stars and loved it all, and just was.
It's shattering, isn't it?
And I'm like, Jennifer Aniston's a man?
Yeah. Yeah. It's actually obvious when you know.
It's just, and I was like, I just started investigating everyone. I reckon I could have started my own YouTube channel.
Well, there was an amazing channel I used to watch about 5 or 6 years ago, an Australian woman who decoded Hollywood 100%. Her name was Mary. Oh, I think she disappeared. I don't know where she is now, but I used to watch all of that, and she was amazing with that information.
Yeah, what an eye-opening that was. And that goes back to their religion and goes back hundreds of thousands of years.
Yeah.
There's a guy on Bitchute who I was really, really, and I still sometimes watch him because he's so good. His name's Mr. E on Bitchute, and he goes to the origins of the Luciferian religion. It just goes back so many thousands of years, and he's very, very well researched on the Bible as well, and he's able to decode it.
Well, according to this guy, it goes back 980 billion years.
Oh, well, yeah.
That's how far back it goes. And Ismail Perez. I've not read this yet; it just arrived. But it's ancient. It's such ancient war.
Yeah.
Which is why when I got here as a kid, I knew I'd been here millions of times. And
oh, really?
Yeah. And my favorite, I just remembered looking at the stars all the time as a kid. Like, I want to go back. Oh, do I? Right, I'm here. I'm gonna have as much fun as I possibly can. Do as many things as I can.
And are your kids like you? You've got 5. Yeah,
Well,
they like you as like look up the
Curious
and
knowing things.
Oh,
really
no, they get bored of it because they've seen so many UFOs. They're like, yeah, Dad, all right, another UFO.
Oh,
But they you know, my eldest son today is finishing as the youngest competitor in the Round Island yacht race, and he's left school and he's just living his best life. And he's a really old soul. When he came into the world, I knew immediately that he was an old soul and he's going to be a leader of some sort. My 14-year-old daughter is taking flying lessons, and
oh, wow.
my other daughter's
About that for you.
other daughter's an amazing artist. And I mean, they're, you know, they're great kids.
Oh.
I try not to talk about them because it's YouTube, but
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
it's
I just
hard
thought,
not
I
to.
don't know why I brought that up, but I just wanted, I knew you had 5. I just thought they
Yeah.
might be stargazers like you.
Well, they're very interested, especially one of them is very interested in all the crystals and healing and
So is one of
telepathy.
mine.
Yeah. And they're developing, you know, they're still young. But what they know now compared to what I knew at their age is vastly different. Because they've got
Right.
this crazy dad and with all these machines around me and stuff like that. What were you were going to go on to something else there, Georgie, weren't you?
I
We'll
was
talk a bit
just
about
going
our-
to talk about what we do now.
Yeah, with
Oh,
our
yeah.
healing.
So you're healing people, and you're doing the QHHT, is that right?
I was, but my guides have sort of moved me out of that now. I started getting clients who just weren't able to get into the deeper theta hypnosis, and it was starting to they were basically saying it's time to move on, and that coincided with meeting Georgie, and we were guided to start this wonderful business called Wisdom Woven in Time Healing, and that's what we're doing now.
So we're based in Melbourne, Australia. And we've added a few things to our website recently, like the fact that we will do psychic readings for people via Zoom or other platforms. So we can do work, you know, reaching further afield than just Melbourne in Australia, as long as they speak English. And yeah, we
connect in with their guides. So everyone has guides, and some people have more than others, and that doesn't make any difference to the quality of the channeling. But it's like a beautiful conversation.
we often bring people to tears, actually, with what they find out, the beautiful messages that come through and how much it changes their life. And that's the most rewarding part about what we're doing. It's just so personally rewarding to be able to see the transformation in people from when we meet them, and discuss what they're going through and what's
we don't like tell
them.
People, like one lady today, you know, was wanting to know, should I purchase this house or that house, or, you know, what should I do? What's my decision? And the guides will come through and really go quite deeply into the reason why she's so stressed about this decision. Then they, you know, offered a healing then and there, asked her questions, you know, deep questions about her, you know, her thoughts on why she was having so much stress, stuff like that. It's we're not like you know,
predicting the future
as such.
It's more about healing. It's more about getting to the bottom of things, you know, and why people are going through what they're going through, and how they can help themselves, or how we can help them as well. We do a lot of past life work as well, jumping timelines, helping people resolve ancestral situations that are in their DNA that they sometimes are completely unaware of. They're dealing with a situation in their life that is a repeating pattern in the DNA, down an ancestral link, and we get to the bottom of things like that and change them for people, and really make a difference to their lives.
The guides are always not always, but we notice like the different energies of the different guides as well. Like some are very funny, and some are a little more serious, you know, and we'll say we we suggest that you really start looking at, or we feel that you should really stop smoking or stop, whatever it might be. And then they'll say, well, and how do you feel about that? It's really.
We love telling each other what we heard that day, what the guide said, and the fantastic messages that came through. That's so entertaining for us too sometimes, and
it is. We
blow our mind. And there's always a lesson in it for us too. It's like we're healing ourselves at the same time. There's a lot of things that we get people that come in and we think, oh boy, I'm looking in the mirror.
Yeah, we've got
this
a lot
one's
of mirrors.
about me too. I've got to do this work too. That's all part of the journey. But we're predominantly here, chosen by God to work with God to remove these harmful things from people. And we can do that for anyone.
Yes.
We also...
In person, we are at this present time, we've been instructed that can only be done in person for that particular healing. The readings, the psychic readings can be done via Zoom. Yes. What else, Georgie?
We also remove graphene oxide from people who haven't had this but may be affected in other ways. And just all other ailments, all kinds of things. We can heal people and help them. So
that's fabulous. But there's only 2 of you. How are you gonna heal the world?
Well, we're actually here to train healers too, because we've been told to by our guides and by the council that we are,
and God,
that we are an integral part of Venus the way it is now. We helped to train and set up all the healers that are on Venus now. We're very ancient beings. We've been doing this for a long time, over and over again, and Venus is known as the planet of healing and healers. The best healers in the universe are on that planet, and everybody on that planet knows how to heal themselves from a very young age. It's part of the makeup of, how they all evolve there and what they're taught. And so we're bringing that to Earth. And our plan is to set up a healing centre where we train healers throughout the world. And
they keep telling us to. That's
what we're going to be doing
coming up.
So starting off by helping people immediately now, and then as time goes by, training people probably online and in person, and building up a whole team of healers that spreads throughout the world. And it's already happening. There are some around that are from Venus as well that are doing the same thing. So it's spreading throughout the planet, and it's going to be amazing. We're so excited about it.
Very honest. Yeah.
Okay, so tell Isroft to hurry up.
Okay, we'll do.
If you can get Valiant Thor's phone number, I'd like to have a chat with my dad.
Okay, I'll do my best. Not sure about that one, but I'll do my best.
The good news is that if he's with DJT, which I think he is, Donald might have seen one of my poems, which I'd love that. I'd love that.
Oh, wouldn't that be beautiful?
Yeah, it's not an ego trip. It's just like I just love him to know.
I'm
sure. I think they all know everything anyway, because consciousness is.
I do too.
Yeah.
I was about to say that he already knows.
Yeah. But well, that's been an amazing chat.
Yeah, thank you, Mark.
Thank you so much. It's been amazing to meet you, talk to you.
Well, I've got a lot of notes here that I'm going to go over later.
Don't forget, you can always call us and or just email us if you need any questions. And we'll do
after
that.
What you just told me, I'm going to be calling you every week.
That's okay.
Please do. We're more than happy to do that and help with. Helping.
It's exciting for us too. We can't wait for the questions because we get to find out all this stuff too. So it's fun.
But it's a wonderful time that we're going into.
These are really,
and we're very connected, much more than we realised, aren't we?
Well, we are one. Isn't that the opening line of I'm Australian?
Yeah. My dad has always told me that when he wrote his beautiful song, I am Australian, that he felt someone was guiding his hand when he wrote the lyrics to the beautiful chorus, which is we are one, but we are many, and from all the lands on earth we come. We share a dream and sing with one voice I am, you are, we are Australian. And we are Aussies, aren't we, mate?
Yeah, mate.
Proud Aussies.
I'm not, but I like the lyrics.
But I have an English grandfather from Bournemouth.
Oh, really?
Yes, and I lived for a year in Brighton, which was probably one of the most awesome years of my life. And I was at that beach party when Fatboy Slim played, and I think
Oh, you were there, that gig?
Yep, I was right up the front.
Oh, wow.
And that was a day, I tell you.
It was about 30 years ago.
Oh, no, it wasn't that long ago.
No, she's a little bit younger than us, Mark. You and I are the same age. That's funny.
But I love Fatboy Slim back then. But Bournemouth's interesting because Bournemouth's on a ley line that goes directly down from the chapel in Scotland, the Rosalind Chapel. And a friend of mine is at that point because it's a golden mouth of energy. And she's coming to Ireland soon to reestablish some of the crystal grid that you were talking about, because there's a lot of that's part of her job here, is to reconnect this diamond grid in Ireland to get these grids working properly again, because that's part of how they've managed to
Was that the
screw all of
American
this.
lady that you interviewed recently with the blonde hair? No.
No.
I love her already because I'm obsessed with crystals too.
Crystals are key to everything.
And also,
show them one of your crystals,
we
Georgie.
have this too.
Oh, I have one here.
We work with these, Mark.
See, you know what's
This one.
You know what's really interesting about these guys is that I approached them and said, listen, there's people out there that need these things, and they had no idea. And they had I had to put it all together for them. It took me like 2 months to get them to understand why they needed to talk to my audience and then JC's and other people's audiences. And they've, we doubled or trebled their business in a very, very quick period of time. And there's so many people now with these all over the place. And I use this pretty much every day. And that's funny.
Thanks to you.
Yeah, that's the funny part. Because I was like 20 years, 30 years in business, 20 years internet marketing, didn't understand why I was there. And then it all made sense when all this happened, because I was like, I suddenly started pairing things up and putting things together and bringing a lot of these aspects to this work that the people that were making things like this would never have thought of.
Yeah.
But it all made sense. It all makes sense now.
All coming together.
Here's my, I like this one.
Well, what's that? Is that a selenite?
That is selenite.
Selenite one.
A stogie.
One I never go anywhere without.
Oh, you've got to show one of your big ones, Georgie.
Yeah, I'm going to outdo you, Mark.
Grab the Lockhart one. Go on, I'm grabbing it for
I'm
you.
not having a crystal off.
I'm
not having a crystal off. I'm just.
Look at that.
What the fuck is that?
I can't carry it anymore.
It's a rose quartz heart.
Yeah, I know what it is. It's huge. Yeah, you just show it off now. Anyway,
Yeah,
it's wonderful to speak to you both. I'll put the website link in the description. It's on the screen, wisdomhealing.com.au. We're going to speak many more times, I know. And I'll see you on the ships.
God bless.
Thank you.
Take it easy, girls.
You too.
See you, Mark. Thanks,
Mark.
man.
All right, stay on the line.